Evan, do you know what a nuclear stress test is?
Alright, so I'm gonna assume it has something to do with isotopes, and that's about it.
Nice. So actually, a nuclear stress test is a test that's used to determine the circulation of blood in your heart, and it's able to determine areas of your heart that aren't getting adequate blood supply at rest and during exercise. It can also measure all over and regional heart function, and it can recognize old heart attacks and enlarged heart chambers.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Can you think of any times in which it would be important to have a nuclear stress test done?
Not particularly.
Okay. So whenever there's a problem with your heart, it's a good idea to have a nuclear stress test done so your physician can get a better idea of what's going on with your heart.
Oh, that's really cool.
How would you prepare for a nuclear stress test?
Probably want to make sure I'm in good health, so I wouldn't smoke or drink before.
Good. So that's part of it. So you should first know that the test can take up to 2 to 4 hours, so make sure you set enough time for that. And you'll most likely be asked to not eat, drink, or smoke for a period of time before the stress test to obtain the best results. Also, it's important to take all your medicine with you, as they could interfere with the stress test. And lastly, it's important to note that you will be exercising during the test, so make sure you wear active clothes and running shoes. So what do you think the steps of a nuclear stress test are?
I couldn't begin to tell you, but I guess they start off by injecting some isotopes and see what happens, you know?
Something along those lines, yeah. So it starts off with an IV being placed in your arm. Through the IV, the isotope, which is a small amount of radioactive material, which will be able to show your heart health and blood flow in the results, will be injected into your bloodstream and then flushed with saline. Following the initial injection, you will rest for about 15 to 20 minutes to allow the isotope to travel in your bloodstream. After that time, you'll be taken to a nuclear camera room where you'll be placed on a table lying down and the resting heart images will be obtained. Then comes the stress part of the test, in which you will walk on a treadmill or bicycle, and while you're doing so, your heart rate, blood pressure, and EKG will all be monitored. Following the second injection, you will be asked to continue to exercise for at least another minute before you can stop to ensure the isotope has made its way to the heart for imaging. After you're done exercising, you will be allowed to have your medicine and light snack as part of a recovery. You will then be taken back to the nuclear camera room, and the images will be taken again following the stress test. After the images are obtained, your IV will be taken out and you'll be free to go. Results of the nuclear stress test are processed using computer software and are usually available the following day. The results, when interpreted by your physician, will show regions of the heart muscle which are and aren't getting adequate blood flow. Having an isotope injection you sounds kind of scary, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, actually, the isotopes are isotopes of elements that are naturally occurring. And also the isotopes have half-lives of about 6 hours, so they'll be completely out of your system within 24 hours. It's also reported that there's no incidence of developing cancer from this agent either. However, if you're pregnant, make sure to notify the staff before the stress test.